It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Force, the podcast exploring the galaxy far, far away. That's the Star Wars galaxy. I'm David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Good evening, everybody.
For the 18th straight week.
Yay!
How you feel about that?
I feel 18 years old again.
I know, man. And what a great time we're in right now. Comic-Con just happened. Not really big Star Wars news happening there. That's coming this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Celebration Europe 2.
Yeah. I'll be glued to Twitter all this week.
Absolutely. We'll hit on that a little bit more later. But we're in the middle of Bounty Hunter Month.
Yeah.
The 4th episode of Bounty Hunter Month. We have one more week to do it because there's 5 Tuesdays in July. So we've got one more Bounty Hunter to do. Probably Dengar.
Yeah, maybe.
A couple other ones we're kicking around. First week we did Bosk. Second week we did Greedo. We had guest Chad Perkins on.
Yeah.
And then last week, Aura Singh, which is a fantastic bounty hunter. And now, but I think it's topped because
This one's pretty awesome.
this one's pretty awesome. And we're talking about IG-88, the droid assassin bounty hunter. What a story this guy has. I really enjoyed reading this, and we're going to share that with you right now. So anyway, so we're calling this episode the Droid Revolution because we'll get into why that's called that. He's a big part of why we're dubbing that episode this. But IG-88, yes, is a droid assassin. Now, for anybody that not too familiar with him, he's only makes one brief appearance in the movies. Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, he is on the Star Destroyer Executor when we first introduced to Boba Fett, basically.
Yeah.
So there's 6 bounty hunters standing there. Boba Fett, Bosk, Zuckuss, Forlom, Dengar, and IG-88.
Yeah.
So these are basically the 6 probably most known and notorious bounty hunters. Obviously, as we point out, Greedo wasn't there. Well, actually, he was killed by then.
He is
But
Force Ghost.
yeah, he's not really that great of a bounty hunter.
It was great.
Yeah, that was.
And just real quick, I was looking again at Star Wars Revisited, some of the changes that this guy did. And you know how he did some facial gestures
movements
in the cantina? Greedo, he makes him frown.
I know.
That's so cool.
He made him blink. He got so much more expression on his face.
Because there's that one shot where he turns and sees Han Solo, and he makes him do like a really drastic frown, like when he sees Han Solo. He makes Greedo frown.
Oh, wait, that was after the lightsaber?
That was right when the shot, when Han Solo's sitting down with Luke and Obi-Wan. You see just shots of reactions. I think you see a shot of Greedo kind of just turn and look.
Oh, he frowns right there?
Yeah, you see like an angry frown.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait to watch that.
I know. I can't either. I think that one's out, though.
I think so.
Yeah, episode 4. Revisited. Yeah, we got to check that out.
I'm sorry. Sorry for the tangent.
No, absolutely no. As we talk about on KooCast, it's called pre-talk. Pre-talk.
Okay, gotcha.
But anyway, we're going to profile IG-88 right now. He, like we said, is a droid that was he was created. It says somewhere around 15 BBY, a little pre 15 BBY, by Holowan Laboratories. Now that is the homeworld. The creator was Project Pluth Droid.
Is it Flute?
Oh, it might be Flute.
Flute.
Yeah, you're right. Flute Droid. Yeah, Flute Droid.
Flute.
Project Flute Droid. And of course, the project line is IG-88 Combat Droid is what the model in the series is. IG series. And the IG extends from the Intergalactic Banking Clan.
Yeah.
Which is the contract that Flute had on the making of this series, the IG series. So that's where the IG comes from, Intergalactic Banking Clan, which you have heard that name come up in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, because that was one of the separatist groups, was the Intergalactic Banking Clan.
Right.
So anyway, here's the thing, is that when he is designed as an assassin droid. So he is made to serve and to kill.
Yeah.
So when he is developed, this IG-88, now here's the thing, is there were 4 developed. Mm-hmm. There were 4 IG-88s developed, and they were all intended to be assassin droids. Well, as soon as he was created, basically, he felt superior to his, they keep referring to him as biologicals. Mm-hmm. And knowing that they were going to, I guess, what is like control his consciousness, in a sense.
Yeah, it's not like they made him. They didn't realize how smart they made him,
right?
So they're going to figure out why and try to control that.
Try to control it.
Yeah.
Well, he turned on him. Yeah. I mean, shortly after he got activated, he turned and physically, with his bare hands, killed all of these people.
Yeah.
And then in doing so, he took his subconscious and filtered it into the other 3 models. Mm-hmm. So now you have 4 IG-88s designated A, B, C, D in manufacturing order. Yeah. So you have 4 droids now, which I never knew.
I didn't know that either.
Of the same, basically they're exact same.
Yep.
They're IG-88s, but they're A, B, C, D, and they are the same assassin droids. So what happens is after this conflict, they decide to go and, well, basically, so this is where the whole thing comes. Where they go to the droid manufacturing base on Mechas 3. Mm-hmm. Again, wipe all the biologicals out, kill everybody.
Yeah.
And they take over the droid factory and continue manufacturing droids.
Yeah.
Because they're planning, Case.
Yeah. Droid revolution, everybody.
Droid revolution.
Let's start the revolution.
I mean, this is a whole major story.
Yeah.
I mean, major story during the whole Civil War. Because think about it. This whole battle between the Empire and the Rebels is going on. They have no idea that there's these droids out there planning this massive revolution that could end both of them.
Yeah. That's what their plan is, too. To
absolutely.
wipe all life out in the galaxy.
All the biological life.
Yeah.
Nothing but droids.
Oh my gosh.
And they were this close. I'm holding my fingers pretty close together. They were that close to ending all life in the Star Wars galaxy. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to just go by each droid, kind of tell you what happened. Instead of going through an entire timeline and bouncing between B and D and A and C, we're going to kind of go through each life because they all their lives end at some point. Yeah. Or their, I don't know if it's called a life necessarily, but their existence. So Case will take it over. We're going to kind of go backwards in order because since A is kind of the most important one, we'll start with IG-88D. Okay.
Yes, IG-88D, the last one who's instilled with IG-88A's programming, basically. The thing is, also we got to mention real quick is they're all assassin droids, but there's only one that's been designated the bounty hunter.
Correct.
And that's the B, which I'll hit on later. But all of them had a hand at one point in like hunting Han Solo or whatever, because in episode 5 when Boba Fett acquired Han Solo and Carbonite and was taking him to the hut, as we talked about many times on the show, he was chased a lot by other bounty hunters.
Right.
And so this one, IG-88D, although he wasn't the official bounty hunter of the group, was still part of the chase and trying to intercept Boba Fett and get Han Solo for himself. But originally, he was an assassin droid like all the other ones, and him and one of the other droids, they're guards on Mechas 3, guards against, I suppose, to protect the manufacturing,
factory.
Manufacturing of the rest of the droids. But IG-88D was kind of ordered to, as I said, track down Boba Fett when he had Han Solo, I guess, because the bounty was just too much to pass.
And after Fett actually destroyed B.
This is after that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is a huge chase after the whole Bespin scene and all that stuff. So IG-88 D and C, but we're focusing on D. They were ordered to chase after Boba Fett, and they're going through hyperspace and all this stuff. But within Boba Fett gets out of hyperspace, and it doesn't say here that he was necessarily hit when he was fired upon.
Yeah, I think it was a big ploy.
Yeah, so but it appears to the IG-88 D that Boba Fett is about to crash onto Tatooine. So he's heading to Tatooine in the deserts. It says of Tatooine, which I don't know how deserts, but I don't know. Deserts are different on Tatooine, but so IG-88 is kind of gives Boba Fett an ultimatum. I assume it's like I can maybe it's like save you,
yeah.
or and I will get Han Solo, or I will let you die, and I'll get Han Solo.
Anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. So Boba Fett didn't respond to this ultimatum, and he's going deeper and deeper into about to crash on the surface of Tatooine. And so IG-88, smart and as advanced as he is, has no idea what Boba Fett's doing, which is a common theme throughout all four of these droids, is that they just can't fight Boba Fett.
Yes.
He's just too good. So,
which is weird because it's the human that they
it's
can't.
really strange. So the IG-88 feels he's about to crash, and he's like, I guess he's going really close behind him. And
right.
but Boba Fett, surprisingly, basically hits air brakes, hits the brakes on the ship. So
yeah.
the ship kind of stops in midair, and which sends IG-88's ship, which is called the IG-2000, sends that zooming past him because he didn't get that. So basically, now that he's in front of him, Boba Fett uses his tractor beam, sucks him right in, pulls him to the ship, and fires upon him. So Boba Fett's now got him in his trap. So Boba Fett has him, shoots the ship down onto the surface of Tatooine. So IG-88D is now crashed, presumed to be destroyed on Tatooine. But then it just says here, some years later, a character, Dash Rendar, who is an important character in the expanded universe. We might not hit on him, but he's an interesting character. I've heard about him, I just don't know much about him. But Dash Rendar finds him and reactivates him. Or not reactivates, sorry. IG-88 didn't die, but he just crashed. He was presumed dead or destroyed.
Right.
So Dash Rendar finds him and battles him and destroys him ultimately on Ord Mantell. So it says here, he destroyed. So IG-88D was destroyed on Ord Mantell while looking for the carbonite entombed Han Solo, and that's where Dash Rendar got him.
So that's where D ends.
That's where D ends.
So C, which obviously was the third manufactured IG-88. Yeah. Now, so what you were saying was when they take over Mechas 3, A kind of disappears into the shadows, which we'll get into what he does later. B, like you said, becomes the bounty hunter. Yeah. So C and D were the guards on Mecha 3 and Mechas 3. And then what happens is when B, as you'll get into, when he gets destroyed, A orders C and D off of Mechas to go after Boba Fett. Yeah. And the first to fall is C. So basically C and D really didn't have much of a purpose in the beginning, besides being guards. They were assassin droids, but they were in charge of the manufacturing and the guarding of all these droids for the droid revolution, which we'll get into a little bit later too. But so C, he's the first one destroyed by Boba. When they go after Boba Fett, after B is destroyed, he basically was destroyed in the first encounter with Fett. Mm-hmm. Which, after he is destroyed, that leads to what you just talked about. Right. D was pursuing him further, and then end up joining his fate on the planet Tatooine. So really not much from C and D. Yeah. So B is where we get into the fun.
Yeah. B is the one that we are all familiar with, right? Although we don't really know because we just
don't call him. We
just knew that we thought there was always one. So we always thought IG-88, the one we saw on Executor. Is that how we pronounce it?
Executor.
Executor. Okay. Yeah. Executor, the one that's on the ship with the other bounty hunters. That's IG-88B, and it was agreed by all four of the units that he should be the bounty hunter because no one knows that IG-88, the original one, basically, in a sense, cloned himself. Like, cloned his
Pretty
mind.
much. You're right.
So they think there's only one IG-88, and IG-88B is the one that everybody believes is the one and only droid. So he's the bounty hunter, and because they've done this, there was no attention towards Mechas 3, to the up and coming droid
right.
revolution that will presumably happen.
Yes.
So IG-88B is the first one to drive IG-2000, and he was the one, as I said, or the executor. And it's there he learned about while he was on that Super Star Destroyer, because this is in episode 5. The first Death Star has been destroyed, but while IG-88B is on this Super Star Destroyer, he learns of the plans for Death Star 2, and he learns about this. Well, he learns about the Death Star project, the new one, being built on by the forest moon of Endor, and he takes that information and disseminates it to the other IG-88s. So that's kind of what they're doing. Like, it seems like all these droids are out, at least B, he's out there being a bounty hunter, but also at the same time gathering just recon information.
Absolutely.
All towards the cause of the droid revolution.
Yes.
So these bounty hunters, or these assassin droids, they're, playing a role, basically, of being a bounty hunter, while also, in the back of my mind, creating this revolution, which is pretty cool. Pretty tricky for these droids to do. And so, as I said, he gives these information to the other droids, and he has IG-88C place trackers on all the bounty hunters' ships. So I guess C is also kind of, maybe at some points, he's in the shadows as well, doing something. I'm not entirely sure the whole thing, because if he's a guard on Mechas 3, he's also doing some errands, I guess. I don't know what he's doing exactly, how he's doing both roles exactly. But nonetheless, IG-88B has these trackers put on all these bounty hunter ships so he can find Han Solo. So whoever finds Han Solo first, IG-88B will know about it. And that's how he leads to Boba Fett, because Boba Fett's the first one to find him, so therefore IG-88B knows about it, and he goes, but what's really cool here is that, you think IG-88B has gotten the best of Boba Fett, like, oh, I snuck a tracking device on you, but Boba Fett knew about it.
Oh, yeah.
He knew he had a tracking device.
I'm telling you, Boba Fett's like Batman, man. Yeah. He knows everything.
Really. And that's actually a fight that I've been asked a lot. Who would win in a fight?
Wow.
And it's a fight that a quick tangent, I made this short kind of web series, basically, for my church a couple years ago with these little action figures. And these action figures, kind of like Toy Story, but they came to life. But they had their own real powers. Like Superman toy had the powers of Superman. So the Batman toy was like Batman, and I had a Boba Fett toy who was exactly like Boba Fett. And I had a scene in one of these episodes where they fought, and like it was, to me, it's pretty cool. But because I'm a geek, I love it. So,
wow.
Anywho,
I gotta break in a side note here, even though it's not Star Wars related.
Oh, okay.
But they just released this at Comic-Con.
Ooh, that's crazy! I didn't even know about they were making that.
Well, Avengers 2 apparently is called Avengers: Age of Ultron. Now,
that sounds
if you're a comic book
weird.
reader, Age of Ultron just happened.
Yeah.
And it is crazy.
Is Thanos a big part of it?
He is.
'Cause that seems like it's.
I don't think he is, to tell you the truth, because it's Ultron. Ultron is a person. So,
that's why I know a little bit about him.
Maybe Thanos isn't coming to the third one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, listen to In the Comics. Yeah. We're going to be talking a lot about this week.
Holy cow!
Because this is big news for comic book day. So I had to, I just saw it on the Twitter feed, so I had to say it.
That's what we're cross-platform here.
Absolutely.
Synergy. That's all this is.
This is the 21 Network. But Marvel just released Age of Ultron coming in 2015, Avengers 2, basically.
That's
now Russell could tell you. Russell, who's my co-host on In the Comics, could tell. He read Age of Ultron, so he can tell you more in depth. If you listen to the past episodes, you'll know what it's about. But it's crazy. It's a crossed. It's really a lot of stuff going on in that movie. I don't even know how they're going to do that. Anyway,
weird.
Back to Star Wars.
Star Wars, the greatest of all.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, Boba Fett knew IG-88B had put a tracking device on his ship, the Slave One. So, Boba Fett basically lured IG-88 into a trap. Because Boba Fett, as we know, was at Bespin. He basically let IG-88B follow him to Bespin, which is really risky. But Boba Fett took it to Boba Fett used this opportunity to defeat IG-88B, and that is exactly what he did. At Bespin, he destroyed IG-88B and left him as scrap on Cloud City. Now, it doesn't say exactly how he destroyed him, because if they're in a dogfight, I don't know if he just destroyed the ship, which he couldn't have because it was used later on by IG-88D, as I said. So I don't know if they just got in a little gunfight somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's on Cloud City. I'm not sure. But that's what happened to B. Seems like a lot of these IG-88 units are being destroyed at the same time on Bespin by Boba Fett.
By Boba Fett. He wipes out 3 of the 4, basically.
Yeah. So that's it for IG-88B.
Boba Fett is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so A, who is the originator, he was the first activated IG-88. And so just to kind of recap on him, he is developed through a contract between the Intergalactic Banking Clan and Flute. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Which is called the Project Flut Droid is basically what we're talking about.
Right.
So anyway, he gets as an assassin droid, he is made, and what they do is they put in this sentience programming, which is supposed to make him more adaptable and a more resourceful assassin. Well, it far exceeded what they expected. And that's why he grew this conscience of, I am more superior than these biologicals. They were going to shut him down, but he said, no, you're not. And he killed them all.
Yeah.
Transfers his known conscious into these 3, B, C, and D. And because he feels superior, they go to Mechas 3, like we said, take over the droid factory there. Now, the plan is they want to create and start the droid revolution. Now, what the droid revolution involves with is them taking that sentience programming to make them more adaptable, better droids, basically, more aware droids. That's what they are doing at this manufacturing. They're manufacturing all these different droids and putting this program into these droids. And what I gather is that it is kind of the same principle as Order 66.
Yeah.
Where basically these droids are made and sent out all across the galaxy to be what they are. A protocol droid or astromech, whatever, work on stuff. You got your medical droids, whatever. You got droids all over the place. And the idea was that at the appropriate time, IG-88A, or the IG-88s, anyway, we're going to send a code out, just like Order 66, and bam, all the droids were going to at once rise up and destroy every biological person in the universe, in the galaxy. Mind blown. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And this whole thing is getting planned during the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah.
So as the movies are going on, this is going on. So as IG-88B is standing there on the Executor getting ready to go after Han, there's droids getting made and getting instilled in this with this programming, and they're planning on. So here's the thing. This is what's crazy. What IG-88 does is, after all this happens, actually, it's after all this happens, after B and C and D are gone, apparently. So in a sense, he's been kind of hiding out, I guess, almost in a sense. He's
just
kind of
building power or something.
Yeah, he's not around really as like you said. B is out there kind of taking the attention away from Mechas 3. C and D are there guarding it. So A, well, it says here just before the Battle of Endor, A was hired for one land mission, and what? But anyway, so when he's the last one, he uploads his consciousness into a computer.
Yeah.
And the computer was the Death Star 2.
Yeah.
So his body is rendered basically useless. and his consciousness is in the Death Star. Now, so much so that it's to the point where he plays a mind game with the Emperor.
Yes.
At one point, the Emperor is, I guess, in his throne room, and IG-88A starts just opening and closing the doors.
Yeah.
Basically showing him, like, hey, you ain't the most powerful thing around here.
Yeah.
You can't control me. And at some point, I think he did open him. He used the dark side, I guess, and just
He was like
him.
closing it, whatever, unlocking it, stuff.
So they played that little game a little bit, then eventually he got sick of it. But anyway, the point being is that when this code goes out, and I don't know what really they were waiting for. I don't necessarily, it doesn't really explain.
Maybe there was something not finished in the Death Star that
Maybe they didn't have enough droids yet still out there.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, when this code went out, boom, he was going to control the Death Star. IG-88 was going to be the Death Star.
Yeah.
I mean, that is crazy to think of. So he can just blast whatever he wanted. You know what I mean? But anyway, obviously, he meets his end when Lando and Wedge go in there and destroy Death Star 2 in Return of the Jedi. So that ends the droid revolution, per se.
It's the greatest story that no one knew about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So there's all these droids out there with this programming in them, waiting for this code to come out. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't. Obviously, he gets killed. Now his body is still around because it's still laying around, which actually gets reprogrammed years later. It says so. Canon or not canon, I don't know. But anyway, it gets reactivated. And then it works for a family, basically being a bodyguard for this family. So obviously not reprogrammed, so it has no idea who he was or what he did. So the IG-88, in a sense, is done. Once the Death Star 2 is destroyed, no more IG-88s. So, wow.
Yeah.
That is like one of the most interesting stories we've ever done on here, I would say.
Like, I would love to see this if the Droid Revolution actually kind of was initiated.
Yes.
Because it's like all this build up and then squash. No one even knew it was
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, the droids.
The droids, the machines basically try to take over. Yeah. They're sick of it, but it's all him. It's all IG-88. So that is just, I mean, I'm telling you, I loved doing this one. This was really good. I hope you guys learned that something cool right there because, I mean, the bounty hunters that we've hit on so far were bounty hunters. They were just running around trying to make money. This guy had a major purpose. It wasn't just him being a bounty hunter, like I'm doing it for the money.
Right.
He's doing it as a distraction, while the other ones are building these droids with these setting this program in it, and then, man, that is just like you said. That is just cool.
We never saw him in the Clone Wars, right? Did we ever see him?
He was. I want to say I thought he was with them.
I thought I saw him too,
with
but
Boba?
It never said anything in the story.
It doesn't say anything.
It said
either.
he was born.
Well,
15, baby boy.
Yeah, it does say here that. No, yeah, it says IG-88 was a natural design evolution from IG-100. IG-86 and IG Lancer combat droids made their mark during the Clone Wars.
Okay, so that's probably what we saw.
So 88 wasn't. So he wasn't made until after Episode 3. IG-88. So yeah, he wasn't in the Clone Wars. He wasn't in this show or anything. Yeah, IG-86 Sentinel droids were the ones during the Clone Wars.
Cool.
So, and they were not assassin droids.
No.
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
IG-88 was the assassin droid. So that's our profile for the week.
Yeah.
Not much news out there. What's the big news? What's the news you had?
There's just a few little things I want to talk about. Do this quick because my battery in my computer is about to die. So real fast, any fans of the Angry Birds Star Wars game out there? Which I love this game. I've played it. I've gotten 3 stars on every level. I've kept playing it all the daggone time. Angry Birds Star Wars 2 comes this fall, and it's going to be covering the prequels. So there you go. September 19th, 2013, you'll get the prequel Angry Birds Star Wars. Now, I'm sure it will be awesome. I hope it won't ruin any childhoods for the prequels, but I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Because I love the original Star Wars Angry Birds. So another piece of news: the whole Star Wars theme park. It is said that it's where it came from, a fan site, but I guess it's a rumor that this whole theme park is going to be focused at Disneyland, not Disney World. Now, I'm assuming they mean really Disneyland, the one that's in California, because sometimes people will call Disney World Disneyland when it's Disney World.
Right.
So it's kind of, I'm disappointed if it really. Yeah, it says here. Yeah, it says here it's in Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is. So it's the California Disneyland. Apparently, Star Wars will feature mainly Star Wars Land will probably be
in California,
mainly in
I mean,
California.
That would kind of make sense because that's where films are made, Hollywood.
That's true.
So
true,
I mean kind of.
stinks.
But Orlando is the bigger one. And
Yeah, I mean, there's it says here what they're planning to do right now in Disney World, because they already have some of Star Wars has a presence in Disney World already at Hollywood Studios, and so they're just kind of giving it more of like a makeover, I suppose, is what it says here, because they're doing a Cars Land and other stuff, but so now they're just kind of giving it a makeover of the Star Wars section in Disney World, which I'm disappointed in because I love Disney World. It's my favorite place to go to in the world as of now. So I wish it was in Disney World, but it's not. So it'll be Disneyland, which is okay as long as it's happening.
Right.
And the last little bit, which is actually kind of on the second to last little bit, which is kind of funny, is any fans of the Phineas and Ferb show on Disney XD? They are doing a Star Wars crossover.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Star Wars crossover where Darth Vader will be in it and some other funny Star Wars themed stuff.
Weird.
So
that's gonna be weird.
So I might see more of that kind of stuff since it's Disney.
Totally.
And yeah, and
I'm sure you'll see Darth Vader with Mickey ears eventually.
Okay, yeah, I bet so. But so I mean, there's little things here too. Like there are these books, The Jedi Path and the Book of Sith. These two books that came out like a year or so ago.
I'm excited about that. Yeah,
I've always wanted to get them. They're packaged separately, but next year they're going to package those together so you can purchase them in one bulk. Which hopefully will come with the Sith Holocron, because that was pretty awesome. But that's about it. I mean, there was I think at Comic-Con they released a blooper reel from Episode 4.
Oh, they did?
But it's not being shown online yet. There's no bootleg version, so can't watch it, can't review it. So that's about it.
So the big thing that we'll talk about next week for sure is what's coming this weekend. Star Wars Celebration Europe 2 in Germany, which starts this Friday, the 26th. July 26th through the 28th, all weekend long. You've got people like Luke Skywalker. This is Luke Skywalker right there. That's why I was like, you got guys like Mark Hamill. That'll be there. Carrie Fisher will be there. Now, I'm very, very interested to see what they look like.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because that they've been, I mean, it's fact that they've been working with trainers. They've been working with food experts, nutritionists to get in shape for their roles in Episode 7. No Harrison Ford. But
he's all right.
Yeah, he's already good.
There's actually just a funny little interview. I guess I don't know if he was at Comic-Con for Ender's Game, I think, or something.
Yeah, he's
like
there.
that.
He was there.
But someone was interviewing him about Star Wars, and he gave he gives the funniest responses when
he's just a weird interview guy in a way.
He's so great. But yeah,
whenever I see him on Leno he's never straight. He's always joking.
So
like, do you see that Conan one where he's sitting there and he's like, no, I don't want any questions about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then they go to the crowd, and they're all like Star Wars fans. Like,
he's like so angry, like the Chewbacca one. It's
yes,
like, you son of a, what are you doing?
What are you doing here? I told you, yeah,
she was my wife. Oh gosh,
he just goes on this weird tangent sometimes. But exciting, I'm sure. I'm assuming what we can anticipate is, like I said, what Carrie and Mark have to say about Episode 7, because they have big sit-down interviews.
Yeah, that's the bulk of the questions, I'm sure, will be.
Yeah.
How you got to have something.
Well, I'm curious to see if there's anything like a logo revealed, or
do you think?
I know they don't have any. They don't have any footage, obviously. But
what do you think? Let's predict right now. What do you think we're going to get
this weekend?
Yeah.
Well, definitely we're going to see, I think, some Star Wars Rebels, the TV show that's coming out next year. I think we'll see some, even if it's just, I don't think obviously a full trailer or anything like that. But I do think that we'll get some kind of, because I think they've been working on that. I mean,
Like what Rebels or the movie we talking about?
the TV show
Rebels. Yeah.
for next year's TV show.
Yeah. Well, they have concept art already.
Correct. I think
Yeah.
they've got to have some animation for it just to kind of test it, So I think we'll see something. Maybe they might release like one scene or something like that.
I feel like we'll get like
together.
a character list or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
More of
maybe a
synopsis.
story synopsis.
Yeah.
Correct. I think there will be something like that. I think there's got to be. I want to predict that there's going to be. You don't think they have? Do you think they have this thing casted yet? Episode 7, like the leads.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's so hard because they've been secretive already about some stuff. Because they had Michael Arndt hired like a few months before they announced it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to be realistic and say they're not going to even reveal that yet. I feel like if they're super generous, I feel like we will get characters and a plot synopsis and maybe a title.
I definitely don't anticipate a title.
Okay.
I think we get that next year.
Like a year out from the movie.
Yes.
And
Like
the teaser?
a celebration next year.
Okay,
In the States.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is that I think. Well, that's the thing is because I was about to say, I don't think you can wait an entire year from now till next celebration, which is probably going to be in August. Now we'll find out. I think at the end of each celebration, they usually announce when the next one's going to happen. I'm assuming it's going to be next August again in Orlando. I'm just guessing Celebration 7. I don't think you can wait an entire year to announce or even show any footage because they're going to shoot this thing early next year. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
they have some previs stuff.
I definitely think next year is when we're going to get our first teaser.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think the title is revealed. But I think before then, there's got to be like Comic-Con next year, maybe something. I don't know. So I'm thinking episode 7 will be a lot lighter at this celebration. But I'm with you. I think we'll get definitely confirmations of who's signed on, like Hamill.
Oh, the original
official
guys. Like
yes.
maybe even Lando.
Maybe even Lando.
Yeah. Like new people, I don't know if we'll get that yet.
I don't even think they're casted.
No. I just think there's been so many rumors about the characters. I feel like they would have to. They won't. They don't have to. But I feel like they should do something with that. Like say
what characters are going to be in it. Yeah,
just
I
be
definitely
like
think
Solo Twins. Yes. Maybe not a villain.
Totally.
But
and the time frame.
Yeah.
Like
confirm
this is
that.
definitely happening 30 years
that
later.
That would be great. Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Confirm because we have like several different plots. Like it's about a disciple or it's about the Solo Twins. Just like a log line, like a little tiny 1 or 2 sentence. What's it about? Time frame. That'd be great.
And yeah, that would be good. And if you had a title, that would be good too. But
Lucasfilm, if you're hearing.
But see, there's no confirmations
Right.
of JJ being there.
Yeah,
just Kathleen Kennedy. Mm-hmm. She will be there. Ian McDermott will be there. Who is probably not going to be in episode 7
London's
somehow.
near Germany. He can take a trip over.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, he'll be what George did. Just show up. That would be sick.
That'd be awesome.
But he will be there next year. There's no doubt he'll be there next year.
Yeah.
I am, man, right when those tickets go on sale, I am buying up those tickets. Yes. So next week we will profile our last bounty hunter, and then I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss and dissect, especially, like I said, I'm anticipating that we'll get a lot of the TV show. The Rebels TV show that's coming out.
I'm really excited about.
Totally, which airs next year, August or September, probably September of 2014 on Disney XD. So if you don't have Disney XD, you need to contact your cable provider or switch providers.
I just realized it's crazy. Celebration 7, episode 7. That's pretty cool.
Totally.
So
they've been doing that. Yeah. Somehow it's always lined up that way because like. You're right, because 1, 2, and 3 were always before the movies came out. That's why they started them. Episode 1, Celebration 1 was before Episode 1, blah, 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 and so on. And then Celebration 4 was 2007, which was the 30th anniversary of Episode 4. 5 was the 30th anniversary. That was your first one, right?
Yeah.
30th anniversary of Episode 5. Now, 6 was not, but it was still Jedi-themed.
Yeah.
It was a year ahead of the...
Yeah.
It was August, a few months.
Yeah. I think it was like the 10-year anniversary of episode 2 or something.
Yeah,
like that,
it was, but yeah, it was still Return of the Jedi somewhat themed.
Right.
But yes, you're right. Episode 7, in celebration of Episode 7, we'll have Celebration 7.
Yeah, very cool.
So now it'll be now almost you can bank on it being like that now. Technically, if they go on with that,
Absolutely.
if they end, I don't know if they're going to end the
I mean, if
episodes.
we get a
after
Star Wars
9.
movie every year, then
I'm assuming they'll have a. This might be a yearly thing. I really think it could be.
Yeah.
Now, I do think that the yearly thing may still involve overseas, though.
like take a break, like.
Yeah, I think what they're doing now, like, see, before it was never every year.
Yeah.
I think I want to say Celebration 4 was in 07. I think they did the first Europe in 2009, and then they did 2010 was Celebration 5 where we went to, and then I want to say they did. Actually, it's been every year since 2010 because I think 2011 they did Asia. They did Celebration China.
Yeah.
And then 2012 is when we went back to Celebration 6.
Yeah.
And then this year's here, next year. So they've been, ever since 2009, I think they've done every year.
Do you think they'll keep it, though, like in the States and somewhere else?
No,
like,
I think they'll still go in and out.
Yeah.
But it will be every year, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Like I think maybe after next year it might be the Asia thing again, and then back here for Celebration 8. Even though they're calling them 1, 2, 3 over there, and 1, 7, 8, 9.
Interesting.
Here.
It seems like the ones that'll be in the States will coincide with the 7, 8, 9.
Correct.
And the ones out in the country, other foreign countries, will be coinciding with the spinoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that would probably make sense. Yeah. I wish I could go all those too.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do every year in the States, I think it'd be awesome. But
right.
And they may get to that point where they do them in the States every year, and in Europe maybe every other year.
Maybe. Yeah.
So they have 2 basically the same year. But I don't know. That's a lot.
Can't spread it. It's spreading too thin.
It is spreading too thin.
So,
but that's Disney now. So who knows?
Yeah.
The last thing I want to kind of hit on, it came out this week. If anybody's involved in the Star Wars, the card game, the Fantasy Flight Games living card game, I love it. We've played it a few times. Now this is their big expansion called the Edge of Darkness. Now what they've done is you have the core set, and the actual card game is involved is 6 affiliations basically. It's one-on-one play. And one is the dark side, one is the light side. You can choose between 3 affiliations on each side. Dark side, you have Sith, Empire, Scum and Villainy. Light side, you have Jedi, Republic, and Scoundrels, Smugglers and Spies. So the core set didn't have, they only had one objective, and a lot of people that don't know, but they have one set of cards for Scum and Villainy and Smugglers and Spies. So what this does, so you basically only can be one of the 2 other affiliations. Now what this expansion does, this Edge of Darkness, it adds all the other cards for those 2 affiliations. So you can be Scum and Villainy now, or you can be Smugglers and Spies. So the best part of it, the cards that came out, so they in the core set you got one of each. Mainly the main guy you got on the dark side was Boba Fett, and the light side you got Han. Well, now in this, you got Bosk.
Yeah, that's so
now
cool.
you got Slave One as one of the vehicles. Now you got Greedo.
Does he stink?
Nah, he's okay. But you got all these different, objectives and stuff, and the gameplay is so much different with these cards. Yeah. On the light side, you got the Millennium Falcon. Now you got Lando. You even got Lobot.
That's cool.
You got Chewbacca. You got some major characters, as well as you got a couple Republics in there, Jedi. You got some. So anyway, but now you have all 6 affiliations. You can pick, and it'd be good we need to sit down and play, just use those 2.
Yeah.
The new ones, and just see how it plays out. But yeah, if anybody wants that's into the game, I love it. I think it's a great game. You should check it out. The new expansion, like I said, is called Edge of Darkness. Just expands on it. Now, the other thing they've come out with force. They're coming out with force packs every once in a while, and what that is just a little, I guess you would call it booster packs. I guess in Magic, but They're basically just an extra set of cards. Now they're doing themed expansions. So the first set right now is a 6 set of Hoth cards. So it's all about the Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
4 of the 6 sets are out there now. I've got them all. I got all 4 of them. 2 more are still coming out. Then they're going to move on to another set, probably the Endor thing, because they're doing more of the original trilogy stuff right now. So there's not really any prequel stuff in there in the card game right now. There's no Darth Maul, Dooku. There's no Mace Windu or Qui-Gon or anything like that. It's all original trilogy stuff right now because the whole thing is centered on the Death Star.
Yeah, I don't know why if they would ever put the prequels in there.
Yeah, they may not.
Because of the Death Star.
They may not.
Unless it's just an alternate version somehow. I don't know how that would fit.
Well, here's the thing. They did announce the next expansion.
Yeah.
And it's the multiplayer expansion.
Huh. That's cool.
So yeah, it's a whole nother set of cards, and they're not necessarily. I think what I read was they're not supposed to be used with the one-on-one. It's a whole nother game almost. So you would get this set.
Gotcha.
You can use some of the ones from the original core set, but you have to use I think the cards from the new expansion.
Yeah.
And basically, what happens is you can build a huge like dark side deck. And you can do 1 versus up to 3 light side, or you can do 2 versus 2.
Very cool.
Which is very cool, yeah.
Sounds like the Cosmic Encounters, a game I played like a week or so ago, which is a game created in the 70s.
Oh, right.
Basically inspiration for Magic, the Gathering. It's a multiplayer, kind of like those RPG kind of board games. Yeah. Which is really cool. That sounds awesome.
So yeah, that's in the that's got announced. I don't know. There's no release date yet for that, but yeah, we got to get more into this. I want to play that Scum and Villainy stuff. That's gonna be cool. So, all right, let me run out through some plugs real fast. Again, we are part of the 21 Network. 21network.com. You can go there, and you can listen to all the latest episodes from that week. They're all 6 podcasts are there. KooCast, us, Inside the Force. You got Popular Fanatics, the 21 podcast, the El Mary podcast, and In the Comics. And like I said, you want to tune in. If you want to tune in to some major Comic-Con news and updates, and our opinions on stuff that's coming out, checking out In the Comics this week on Friday. We'll be talking a lot about what happened at Comic-Con. So that's you can follow us at Inside the Force on Twitter, InsideTheForce.com if you just want to go there. All of our episodes, all previous 17 episodes are there. You can click on our RSS feed and subscribe to that. Our iTunes logo is there. You can click on there, subscribe there. We are on Stitcher Radio. You can get that app on your iPhone or on your Android phones. We are on TuneIn Radio if you want to listen to that. We are all over the place.
You can't hide from 21 Network.
Yes, you cannot hide. So choose your platform and listen to us. Please, if you can, send us some comments, some questions, whatever. We'll read them on the show. We've got next week, which is our last week of Bounty Hunter Month. I'm working on some kind of giveaway. We'll do some kind of giveaway.
Cool.
Some Bounty Hunter themed giveaway. We'll do something to kind of get you guys involved.
It's the Slave One.
Yes. We've done a giveaway already. CJ Mitchell, who's a big fan of ours. Yes. We appreciate CJ. He got the 2 Siths when we did. That was a long time ago, actually. So it's been a while. That was the second episode, I think, right? We did the Darth Bane thing, the Rule of 2, and we sent out the totally unpunched figures of the Emperor and Darth Maul. And I do have a Darth Vader sitting over there, right there, I think, right? Sitting there, yeah. Unpunched. But, I'm saving him for something we do later. But we'll do something with some bounty hunters.
Cool.
For next week. So tune in next week for episode 19 when we finish up Bounty Hunter Month.
Sweet.
All right, so that does it. I'm D Cottingham21 on Twitter. Yeah. Casey is thank you. Trivia.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot about trivia. Casey is Kryptonium1138 on Twitter. Yeah. We've got to go and do trivia real fast.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It's heating up now.
Good job. Yeah, I know. I am under 500 right now. I am 8-9. Casey is 1 over 500. He's 9-8. And this question from Star Wars, Obsessed with Star Wars book, it comes from 200, number 200.
200. 200. Emmys, no Emmys.
200. And this is the Phantom Menace era.
Okay. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. The question, what was Alder Beedoo's species?
Oh, I know that name.
What was Alder Beedoo's species? Okay. A, Flugririan. B, Glipfid. C, a Dug. Or D, a Hut. Alder Beedoo's species. Flugririan, Glimfid, Dug, or Hut.
See, I know what a Dug and a Hut is, but
yeah, no.
I don't know if that's what it is. Who knows? I mean, I'm going to be guessing on this one, obviously. Dang it, I wish I knew what he looked like. I know this. Wait, yeah. I think I know who he is. I think I know who this guy is.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with...
I have a vision, possibly I know who he is too, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm going to go with B. Were you going to do B?
I was leaning towards A.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, this is kind of a guess.
It is a guess.
If it's who I think it is,
I don't think it's a Hug or a Dud.
Yeah, if it's who I think it is, it's definitely not any of those two.
Yeah, I'm guessing too. I think it's an A. I mean, it has to be A or B. I think.
Yeah.
You going B?
Go B.
Okay, I'm going A. Okay. And I'm going to press A for the answer, and...
Oh, is it B?
It is B. Glimfid. Now, who do you think it is?
Is it the announcer for the pod race? That's who I was thinking it was.
Oh.
Or one of the pod racers.
I think it's one of the pod racers.
I'm going to look him up.
I thought it was the guy that... I'm thinking it's the guy that told the droid, da-da-da-da, and the droid walks in front and blasts through the engine. That's who I was thinking maybe it was.
Let's see if I can figure this out real fast. Alder Beedoo.
Dang, so I'm now 8 and 10. Jeez, you're 10 and 8. Losing the war here. I'm losing the war here. While he's doing that, if you want to go to our website, check out our some banners we got in there. Her Universe from Ashley Eckstein, who is the voice of Ahsoka Tano on the Clone Wars TV show, 5 seasons of it. She's got some great clothing lines for that special one in your life. It's all women clothing. It's got a lot of Star Wars stuff on there. Got a lot of Star Trek. Got a lot of Battlestar Galactica, Walking Dead, Doctor Who. You can get some great stuff on there. T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, whatever. Also on there, you check out if you want some cheap domains, click on our GoDaddy banner there. Get some domains for $2.99. And then, of course, A Plus Comics is a big supporter of ours, apluscomics.com. It's where I get my comics. You can go to apluscomics.com and check it out and order whatever you want from there.
I found him. That's the image is uploading. It's not who I was thinking of. I believe it is one of the pod racers.
Yeah.
He has like a long nose. He's like really... Oh, here he is.
Oh, it's that guy? Yeah.
Really reckon. Oh, did it go away? Sorry. Yeah, I think I
know who you're talking. Yeah. I think I know who it is. He didn't say anything though. I think he's just a shot of him.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway,
Glimfid, Alder Beedoo.
Yeah, Alder Beedoo. All right, so
there he is right there.
Dang, I don't know if I remember it. He had a mask. Is that the one with the mask on?
Maybe. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about too. Okay, so anyway, that wraps up this show. Thanks for listening to us. For Casey Cooley.
Bounty hunters, we don't need that scum. That is the weirdest line.
Yeah, I know.
He says it on this starter story, and it's like so rude to say, and he says it really loud. Like, obviously...
And Bosk is like right there.
He said his foot. Yeah, obviously he can hear you. Gosh,
yeah.
Idiot.
Stupid.
He probably died later on. Got killed.
Yeah. All right, so I am David Cottingham. Thanks for listening to Inside the Force. Check us out next week, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network, a collection of weekly podcasts. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.